tonight.
Well, kind of apprehensive. I hate to leave my home.
The latest from Peguis First Nation as the community declares a state of emergency and residents prepare for an evacuation. Also tonight, gas tax relief arrives.
If you subscribe to the school of anything is better than nothing, then yes, it does help.
But will the savings last? Plus, putting housing in reach.
The main goal is to establish a form of community ownership.
How West Broadway was able to form the city's first land trust and what it means for those who need affordable housing.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Taylor Brock.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Hendricks. The flood risk at Peguis First Nation is now said to be a certainty. And as a result, the community has declared a state of emergency. As CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, the First Nation is now bracing for a flood as bad as 2022, when thousands of people were displaced.
Like a fortress, Angela McCorster's house is surrounded by a high wall of sandbags. It's built above the water level from the last flood on Peguis First Nation, so she hopes this is enough.
We don't know yet, but usually we're the first ones, one of the first ones to go.
The First Nation has declared a state of emergency as they prepare for what could be a severe flood like 2022, where more than 2,000 people had to leave. McCorster worries about being displaced as her home is near the river.
Kind of apprehensive. I hate to leave my home. It's a big hassle to leave, and you know, like right now I'm preparing myself also. I'm trying to keep up with my housework and laundry.
The province says more than 500,000 sandbags and 11,000 super sandbags have been provided as volunteers and community members race against the clock. The First Nation has said around 225 homes are in need of protection, but the cold weather may have bought residents and the volunteers time they need to shore things up.
A lot of progress was made, including over the weekend, and flood protection for the homes there. There's still dozens more that need to get attention.
One of them is this home, where Angela Flett and a crew are working to protect her cousin's place.
We're sandbagging. She was calling, and I noticed this morning when I went to work that it hasn't been done yet.
She let her cousin know her home is in good hands as many showed up to pitch in.
It is good. I actually sent her numerous pictures this morning. I said, don't worry about your house, it's getting done.
And while the work to save property continues, it appears evacuations may be inevitable. Over the weekend, the chief said an evacuation plan has been developed and they will be sharing details with the community. If she does have to go, Angela McCorster says she'll be thinking about what she's leaving behind.
Worried about what's going on here and, you know, like what are we going to come home to?
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Nearby Fisher River Cree Nation has also declared a state of emergency. The Premier says it appears they are in relatively good shape for flood preparation. A 32-year-old man is dead after being hit while crossing a road in East Kildonan over the weekend. Winnipeg police say the man was crossing Henderson Highway on foot at Neil Avenue when he was hit by a northbound vehicle. The driver immediately called 911. The man was rushed to hospital in critical condition where he was pronounced dead. The traffic division is investigating and is asking anyone with dash cam security or cell phone video from the time of the collision to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Well, some much-needed relief at the gas pump today as Ottawa's temporary suspension of the federal gas tax kicked in. In Winnipeg, the average price is now sitting at about $1.60 a litre. That's a bit of a break from the $1.70s that drivers were paying last week. Today, our cameras even saw one station with prices at $1.23.9. Now, the federal gas tax holiday is bringing prices down about 10 cents a litre on regular gas on average and at 4 cents a litre on diesel. But it's not a permanent fix. It only lasts until September 7th. And with the current war in the Middle East not showing any signs of slowing down, groups such as the Canadian Taxpayers Federation are calling on Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew to bring back the gas tax cut and make it permanent. It says doing so would enable Manitobans to utilize the savings to pay bills and support the local economy. It's an idea the Premier himself brought up just weeks ago. And with the summer months usually leading to higher prices in general, experts say it's likely prices will strike again.
Because we're really only at the mid part of what could be, a pretty significant energy spike, governments are going to have to be seen to do a lot more than just, trim around the edges with temporary measures. Important that they take that position. It may not have been the right one, and I think the provincial government is going to have to contemplate doing the same thing as well. I know that Manitoba has come through a year of no provincial sales tax. It may very well be that they're going to have to contemplate that again.
This gas tax cut is costing the federal government $2.4 billion. Mounties are asking you to be on the lookout for a suspect following an armed home invasion in northern Manitoba. It happened Friday night around 11 on the Matthias-Colombe Cree Nation. The force says 3 men armed with firearms forced their way into a home, but took off before police arrived. No one inside the home was physically injured. 2 suspects were arrested in the community a short time later, but police are still looking for this man, 23-year-old Creedon Biggity from Winnipeg. He's facing a number of charges. Anyone with information is asked to contact Puckatawagan RCMP or Crime Stoppers anonymously. Winnipeg's West Broadway neighborhood is known for towering trees, apartments, and turn-of-the-century homes. But shared home ownership is on the horizon. It's called a community land trust, and it's rare in our city. CTV's Joseph Bernacki caught up with developers behind the project.
Affordable home ownership. All cities thrive on it. And now it may be in reach for Winnipeg's West Broadway neighborhood.
I think the idea of having community sort of taking the lead when it comes to how these buildings are taken care of and maintained.
A new community land trust project is underway, meaning more people may be able to afford homes. Resident Avery Helm loves the model, where housing is purchased and then treated as a community resource. She's lived in the neighborhood for more than 2 years. And in that time, the West Broadway Community Organization has been working on the city's only land trust.
The main goal is to establish a form of community ownership of land that tries to preserve that land as a community amenity for long term.
Stephen Hodges, housing coordinator with WBCO, says years of setting funding aside has allowed their organization to gather enough money to buy their first property. They expect to buy in the coming months. Helm says the idea is enticing as she lives in a rental heritage building.
Sometimes it starts to get kind of run down, and trying to get the landlords to come in and do fixes can take weeks, maybe months.
Hodges says 93% of people living in the neighborhood are renters. His organization has their eye on a 10 to 15 unit apartment block to start.
It feels like a more manageable size to start with so that we can do it in a good way.
Hodges says the trust will create stability as properties will be under the market rate, meaning they won't turn over so quickly, creating long-term residents. Catherine Carruthers has lived in this West Broadway co-op for more than 20 years. She says you don't have to look far to see the generational appeal this type of ownership would bring.
5 minutes from now. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as a future for people I know who will be challenged forever for affordable housing.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Time now for our first check on the weather, and still relatively warm. It's +4. The barometer is rising. Humidity is at 70%. Now, overnight, it's going to get cooler. It's dropping down to -1 with clear skies. Your wake-up weather, +1 and mostly sunny.
It's happening at the landfill, so we're trying to sort of get ahead of it.
Nipping a problem in the bud, why the city is trying to divert people's vapes away from the Brady landfill. Fire crews responded to a blaze at a downtown apartment block this afternoon. A black smoke mark stretches from a window and across the outside of the building in the Central Park neighborhood. Firefighters could be seen inside the unit. Now, outside the building was taped off, and fire trucks, police cruisers, and 2 ambulances blocked off the street. CTV News reached out to the city for more information. At this time, it's not yet known if there were any injuries or what may have caused the fire. A house fire in White Ridge has left 2 pets dead. Firefighters were sent to a home in the 400 block of Scurfield Boulevard around 4 on Saturday afternoon. All of the people inside managed to get out before crews arrived, and no injuries were reported. Crews fought the fire and declared it under control about an hour later. The city says 1 cat and 1 dog were found dead inside. The cause of the fire is under investigation. The Manitoba government is bringing back a clinic to provide specialized health care for those experiencing menopause, replacing one that was closed in 2017.
We are going to reopen the Manitoba Menopause Clinic.
$5.2 million will be used to reestablish the clinic on Kenniston Boulevard. The standalone outpatient center will provide menopause and gynecological care, including minimally invasive procedures, counseling, and education, all supported by doctors, nurses, dietitians, physiotherapists, and pharmacists. The Manitoba Menopause Clinic is expected to open in the fall of 2027. The City of Winnipeg is launching a new trial to divert vaporizers from landfills and recycling facilities. The move comes after lithium-ion batteries from disposable vaporizers have been found to spark fires at Brady Landfill. The reason? Batteries in vapes aren't easily removed. So when they get thrown in the garbage and then come into contact with heavy machinery, it can cause a chemical reaction. Lately, vapes have been causing, on average, a fire per month. Now, while there's already a program in place at 4R depots to get rid of lithium batteries in everyday items, it isn't the case for vaporizers. Now, this trial will allow people to bring used vapes to a depot where they can be disposed of properly.
It's a serious issue throughout the industry. So we want to remind people that, like, we've been lucky in Winnipeg at their recycling plant. It's happening at the landfill. So we're trying to sort of get ahead of it, and we're always trying to improve programs.
If the vapes are brought in, crews have processes in place to safely dismantle them. The metal inside can be reused, as well as some of the chemicals inside the battery. Traffic is slow going around Portage Place as the redevelopment enters a new phase. The deconstruction phase is over, and crews are now assembling a crane for the building phase. Because of that, westbound Portage Avenue is down to 1 lane between Carleton and Edmonton Street now through Friday. Now that's expected to create some delays on Portage and the surrounding routes. People planning to drive downtown are asked to allow extra travel time and consider finding an alternate route. Winnipeg home construction is off to a strong start this year. New data from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation shows housing starts are up 24% in the first quarter as compared to last year. That's triple the national average. Most of the gains were in row houses, while apartments also saw a bit of a bump. Single-family and semi-detached home starts were mostly flat.
And it was an extremely popular facility.
Saying goodbye to a local landmark, why Harborview Recreation Complex has to go and what will replace it. And we'll have your complete Skywatch forecast when we return. Welcome back. Our first weather picture of the evening is this great shot of the Northern Lights by Jody. She tells us that she captured the picture this weekend in Winnipeg Beach. Love the greens. Our second picture this evening is this really beautiful shot that was sent in by Bob. It shows the sunset on the Broken Head River near Beausejour. Fantastic. Thanks to both of you for sending us those photos. You can send us your pictures to winnipegweather@ctv.ca. Our weather was really all over the place today. At 7 this morning, the temperature was 0 and it was mostly cloudy. But then, as if Mother Nature remembered to turn on the furnace, temperatures spiked all the way up to plus 15 by 5 o'clock. So definitely a very dramatic shift from winter to spring all in one day. And it seems as if we are going to be in for something similar in the days to come. As we go to the satellite, well, we have mostly been dealing with clear skies over southern and, frankly, much of central Manitoba. Now, we did have a pretty vigorous low pressure system that was crossing through the north. Our friends in Churchill will be dealing with snow and, frankly, a lot of blowing snow and pretty strong winds tonight. Now, here in the south, though, not a lot to see, as you can see. Tuesday and Wednesday, we will have a lot of sunshine here in Winnipeg and warm temperatures as well. The high on Wednesday is 21 degrees. Fantastic. But then we get a sudden shift back to winter. As you can see, there is a low pressure system heading our way from the west. It's going to be bringing rain on Thursday, and then, sadly, the temperature will drop. Speaking of the temperature, let's take a look at the current temperatures across the province. Manitoba is no stranger to Red River floods, with many recalling the 1997 flood of the century. However, it was 200 years ago this spring the most severe flood in recorded history hit the Red River Valley. This is a rare sketch of the 1826 flood held at the Provincial Archives. According to records, it had an estimated natural peak discharge nearly 40% greater than the 97 flood. Some of the flood's details were recorded in this journal by a clerk with the Hudson's Bay Company. We have an article on our website exploring the eyewitness account, as well as what a historian has to say on its lasting impacts. You can read it at CTV News Winnipeg.ca. A decades-old landmark at Kilkona Park in North Kildonan is coming down. The city says Harborview Recreation Complex is beyond repair and will be demolished by the end of this year. And as CTV's Harrison Shin shows you, the city is floating a new idea to put in its place.
Dave Klassen and his dogs use North Kildonan's Kilkona Park often. He has fond memories of the Harborview Recreation Complex.
Do you remember coming as a kid, using the areas and all that, the tennis court and the golf driving range and all that? So I do remember walking past it.
Now, 46 years later, the complex will have to come down. The city says the building is, quote, beyond repair, requiring full demolition and redevelopment due to its age and condition. First opened in 1980, Harry Brochi's business, Lakeland Golf Management, has run the sports portion of the complex since 1982.
It's sad, there's no question. It was an extremely popular facility. We were booked a year in advance for weddings when it first opened in 1982, and over a period of time, it's unfortunately just fallen into the state it's in right now.
The demolition will include asbestos removal and remediation, and the city is expecting the work to be finished by the end of this year. The city says they may put up a new park pavilion, which includes a new public washroom. North Kildonan Councillor Jeff Bruati says the demolition also brings new opportunities.
We did a public consultation quite a few years ago, and again, the number one user at the park today, and I think going forward, is still going to be the off-leash dog park users, and we're definitely not forgetting about them.
For Klassen, he would like to see recreational use in the future.
Maybe pickleball courts or some sort of physical activity. That's my cup of tea.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Hi, everybody!
A sudden and unexpected landing. How a hot air balloon trip ended up in someone's backyard. A Hollywood actress has co-created a comic book series set in Winnipeg. Kristen Kruk, best known for playing Lana Lang in Smallville, has dreamed up a 5-issue comic book series called Black Star. It tells the story of a group of magically inclined people who have been guarding Winnipeg for years, and it's got a historical edge. It takes place primarily in the 1800s, in the midst of skirmishes between two fur trading companies, the Hudson's Bay and Northwest Company. Kruk posted some work-in-progress images on Instagram, and one of them included an illustration of the Manitoba Legislative Building, which she describes as a key building in the comic book's lore. As for why Winnipeg, well, she says the idea for the tale was dreamt up while shooting the TV series Burden of Proof right here. The first issue comes out on July 29th. The Winnipeg Model Railroad Club's annual spring show brought together dozens of train lovers over the weekend. Take a look at these details. The CN rail cars and the service roads right next to the railroad. The club hosted the free event at the Charleswood Royal Canadian Legion. In some presentations, attendees were able to operate the model trains themselves. President of the club, John Bates, says the age group of model railroaders is wide, from kids to retired people. And he adds the hobby brings many other transferable skills. Looks like a lot of fun, too. It's not a sort of thing that you would expect to find in your backyard, but it was apparently the perfect place for a hot air balloon to make an emergency landing. Lindsay Davis has more on the big shock for the homeowner.
Hi, everybody!
Talk about dropping in unannounced.
Look at that!
This backyard in Temecula, California became an unexpected landing pad.
I opened the sliding glass door and there's a basket full of 13 people in my backyard.
The surprise was caught on a backyard security camera.
I run to the back and there's a whole group of people that are just waving at me.
How's your guys' trip so far?
For a moment, shock gave way to smiles.
At first, I was like, oh my gosh, we're in a backyard. Like, this is crazy.
Inside the basket, Brianna Avalos and her husband were marking their 10th anniversary on their very first balloon ride. But as the wind began to fade,
he says there's not enough wind because the wind kind of like stopped a little bit.
And with fuel running low, the decision was made.
And he was like, we're going to land. And we only had a little bit of fuel left.
What could have been a frightening descent was instead a lesson in precision.
We're in somebody's backyard.
The pilot, he was masterful, you know. He got it like directly into the backyard where there was nothing. He kind of just plopped straight down.
And so we landed in the people's backyard, safe and sound, like no one hurt.
Wow!
The fastest cubes in the West, why this group of Winnipeggers were speeding through a Rubik's Cube. And we'll have your 7-day Skywatch forecast next.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
We have a couple of days of spectacular temperatures, then things begin to turn and we may even get snow on Friday and Saturday, possibly Sunday too. Solving a Rubik's Cube takes time, a lot of time if you're like me, but these Winnipeggers that you're about to see showed off their need for speed when they solved their cubes. Look at that. That is a 7x7 Rubik's Cube. Speed Cubing Canada hosted its Winnipeg Spring 2026 at the University of Winnipeg today. Dozens of speed cubers gathered to find out who's the fastest to solve their cubes. One of the competitors, Brad Sallin, says some kids can solve a cube in less than 10 seconds.
What makes it unique is just the mental dexterity and the amount of memorization that goes into it, because I mean the kids who choose to do it are so involved in it and they're so committed to learning the math behind it, learning the algorithms, and it really is something that really helps exercise the mind.
Now that was Salin's 6th time attending the competition with his son Rowan. Rowan says cube solving is calming for him, but when he goes up to compete, it can also be nerve-wracking. That's going to do it for us. For another look at tonight's stories, visit us online at ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Thanks so much for watching, and good night.